Do not look inside of that yet, Earl. I'm sorry they are not. So please. Well, I have been in television for the last 25 years, working both in commercial television, independent television, and now I do a Christian program on a non-Christian station. In those 25 years, there's some things that have developed as a result of that time. And one of those I've learned is that companies send me products, hoping I'll use them on the air and give them a free plug. And I didn't care too much about some of those things in the last couple decades, but Dr. Morgan, one of them came out with a new skincare, anti-aging. I thought, I'll try this. I'm smearing this gook all over my face. My little one's watching. What are you doing that for, Mother? I said, that is going to make me beautiful. He didn't take his eyes off. Just watch me for the next 30 minutes. And when I wiped the gook off, he said, it didn't work, did it, Mother? We've tried some things that just didn't work as well as we'd like. But I have a confession to make. I got this magazine. It's called Ogrish, OGRISH.com, and it tells about, got it on the 15th, and it tells about the 9-year-old to 17-year-old can hardly stand what they're seeing on television. Ogrish.com is actually the news, behind the news, explicit about what they're seeing. And what I've observed is that television, first of all, is addictive. Mm-hmm. When my little granddaughter was a baby nursing and the television was on, she would turn her head around and watch television. My 96-year-old mother, if you got between her, and she's a former school teacher and started at college, her and her dad, and she'd say, could you move over just a little bit? I want to see how that ends, that program ends. So from almost the womb until the time the good Lord calls us home, we're interested and addicted to, many of us, to television. Not only are we addicted to television, but the cartoons. Have you ever sat down with your grandchildren to watch the cartoons, or your children maybe? And for you, at least Jerry, your 8-year-old, you watch them and it's absolutely horrendous. Our children and grandchildren and the people in our churches are modeling the behavior, which is disrespect for the parents, the peers, the people in the schools, their teachers. They have come to supper. I'm watching this. They don't have respect for the parents as they did when I was growing up and knew what a look from my dad meant. And not only the cartoons, by the way, shouldn't be watched by anyone until you're at least 85 years old. If you're 85, maybe 90. But that is, there are horrible things in the cartoons. Destructive television. One of you in this room said, I said something about television. He said, trash it. Well, we can't trash it because now television comes through our computers. Now television comes through our cell phones. We don't have an opportunity to say trash it in the family. What we have to do is counteract, and you're going to learn a way that is happening. Television, yes, is destructive. My niece was the consultant for the Columbine people SWAT team in Colorado. She said they'd come into her office, that SWAT team, and they would fall on their knees, sobbing like a teenager's heart that was broken. And they would say that the leader of this massacre saw this as a plot on television. In my own hometown in Jonesboro, Arkansas, in West Side High School, when the children, as Governor Huckabee said, kids killing kids, when the divorce happened in this child's family, and he had to leave Michigan and come live with a family in Arkansas, which he didn't want to do. And his, they didn't like him. He spoke with a damn Yankee accent. He didn't talk like the rest of the Southerners in Arkansas in the cotton fields. He dressed differently. He's a little more hip than They had learned to be, Arkansas, especially a few years ago, a little more conservative. So what he thought, he stole a gun from a family member and climbed a tree, got the plot from a television show, and as they would come out, the ones that had made fun of him, he shot them and killed them. And the favorite teacher too. I taught creative writing in that school seminars. That could have been me. And you that are teachers, that could happen to you. And we can't say that England is, that's not going to happen here with the suicide bombings in London. It's going to happen. And the ogres showing the actual death as they're dying. So what are we going to do? Well, I just spoke last week to 3 different schools, 3 different groups, and had worked with over 1,000 youth and teach 22 children age 12 to 17 in our church. And we have what we call Quest Force. Quest Force is to teach them to mentor the younger people. And part of that mentoring is to have them to watch certain television shows. What do they watch? They watch Discovery Channel, educational channels. They watch history channels. They watch the travel channels. There's a lot of incredibly great things on television. I heard one of them, we said we were going to Ireland, and they said, "Oh, I've watched that Discovering Ireland." And they knew about Dublin and Trinity University, where they did genealogy and some things they suggested to us that we do. So there's a lot of incredibly great things found on television, and you can't trash it because they're going to find it. They're going to find television right on their internet. They're going to find it on their cell phones. And I had the great... Okay. 24 members of the congressmen in Washington, D.C., when OGS had us go to the Library of Congress. And at that time, Clinton had allotted $200 million for these 24 congressmen, nonpartisan group, and they did a study, and the study showed that faith-based solutions were solutions for families in crisis. And we came up with a plan called a 3D solution. Now, if you will please open your book and take out the 3D glasses and put those on, if you would please, because you must remember this, that first of all, the 3D is designing your family like you want. And the second D is in disciplining yourself to follow through with this that you've designed so that it will be right. And then the determination that no matter how many times that you fail or your family fails, that we can have, you surely must have, they have to have one. Earl, make sure Dr. Fix has one of these. They're not getting along. Because I tell my children, when I get them together, and I'm working with over 1,000 of them, when I speak in the schools or wherever I speak around the world, as Tony and I have done, is that each of us has been placed here on earth and given life for some grand purpose. Each of us was given a gift. It was put into us to develop, and through its development to bless humanity. That is the ordained purpose behind each of our lives, and your purpose can be accomplished only by you. When we try the 3D solution to whatever we're doing, designing how we want our lives to be, our children's lives, our school lives, Earl, the schools and the way you preach all around the world. We have to design it the way God has put it in our house, and then discipline ourselves to follow the design. Inspect what we expect. And then the determination that no matter what other people say, think, or do, that we're going to do that. Because I have a premonition that soars on silver wings. I know of your accomplishments, Dr. Morgan, and other wondrous things. I do not know beneath which sky nor where this group will challenge faith. I only know that God is our guide, that each of you are great.
Have we any questions?
I'm telling her all about it and she's telling me all about it. So, is that about the right height, Tony, or am I too
I got
tall?
you.
Am I too tall?
No, you're good.
Okay. Now,
Now keep on talking.
keep on talking. Let the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight.